right. We are live. Hey, everybody. Just testing out the YouTube live here, getting things situated. I'm going to start doing these along with the podcasts. Hey, Luke Takehouse. What's up, Luke? Thanks for dropping in. I don't have a lot planned for right now. I'm trying to get used to the interface with the YouTube streaming, YouTube live. And I've got some fun things planned. I just posted on Insta and Facebook for a new podcast idea to get those episodes going again. Throw hashtag Ask Midwest Mealworms in whatever platform you want to put it in. Ask me a question, and then I'll answer it live on the YouTube along with podcasts and whatnot. So hopefully get those rolling here in the next few days. Let me throw that. Ask Midwest Mealworms. I'll throw that out there. Oh, let's see. This doesn't look too bad. Hopefully is the audio coming through? Can anybody hear me while I'm chatting away here? Throw that out there. Audio is great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Awesome. I dressed up in my best flannel for this, just to see how it's going. Raymond, thank you. All right. I'll probably clean up the background a bit. Just testing some things out. Got the wood stove behind me. Don't need that until winter time, but we'll get things cooking. Hot chocolate. Raymond, your image there, I think it says hot chocolate. No, I want some chocolate. All right. Yeah, so my plan is to get things rolling with the live. It looks like these will post later too, which is good, just in case anybody can't catch them. But we'll get some lives going, get the podcast back in action, record those, get those rolling. So if you guys have any questions, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, throw in a question and with the hashtag Ask Midwest Mealworms, and I'll cover them live here. It can be about mealworms, small business, whatever. Anything that tickles your fancy, and we'll go from there. What is the podcast called? I believe it's Midwest Mealworms. I probably should have that memorized. It's out on Anchor, but I believe it's on a couple other places as well. Go pull that up real quick, and I'll paste that in the chat as well. Yeah, I do have it out here on Anchor. Oh, it's not letting me log in. Let me check the app. It's been a while since I posted in there, and it's not in the brain right now. Mealworms and more. And that should be out there on Anchor. Let's see, Anchor, Radio Public, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcast, Pocket Casts, all those out there. So podcast is Mealworms and More. There's a few episodes out there. It's been a while since I posted anything. I want to get that rolling again. I miss talking and chatting about the mealworms, the farm, the frass, all the different stuff. So I'm trying to pull it up on the app now. Anchor. Just to make sure I can still log in. That way I can get the recordings going, get things kicking. Yeah, let me log in on the phone. I must just not have the right password on the laptop here. Okay, and I was able to move around to different screens, so I've never tested the YouTube Live before, so I think that's going to work out well. Might look at getting a camera set up here. Get things posted. I think this will work out well. Still have problems removing the dead beetles because they stick on the sifter. Um, Removing the dead beetles from where? So from your beetle bin? Um, I'll start chatting about the beetle bin, Raymond. Let me know if that's the case. So if in your bin you've got your live beetles, obviously, and then some of them are going to die off. That's totally normal as long as it's not a huge percentage, right? Like if in your beetle bin you're seeing 75% death, that's not okay. Something's going on, right? But you should have some form of die off. That's totally natural. They're not all going to live that full lifespan. And so within the beetle bin itself, unless it's a huge problem, they're not going to stink. They're not going to smell. And so I honestly, I leave the dead ones in my bins until I just get rid of that bin completely. So after about 2.5 to 3 months, I'll call that entire bin because they've laid 95% of their eggs at that point. And so I will remove those and then everything goes into a 55-gallon drum, all the organic matter, and then the beetles that were alive will then die within that bin. If you want to, depending on your setup, if you want to, like Luke says, using the carton method. And so what he's talking about there is an egg carton, which is similar to, like, you go buy groceries from, or buy eggs from the grocery store or wherever. They'll come in a paper carton. The plastic ones won't work. The styrofoam ones I don't recommend. Just don't introduce styrofoam into the farm. But I would take a egg carton and then the paper ones, and put that in on top of your beetles, and just leave them be. Put them in a dark spot. They'll start climbing out, start going in underneath. You need to be patient, so do something else. Like maybe if you're going to sift grass, go take your egg carton, throw it in with the beetles, and then the live ones will go and cling to that. They'll get on that, and you can then take those, shake those off in another bin. One of the other things you could do is get a sifter that will let your substrate go through. So like a 1/8 inch, maybe a little bit smaller, depending on the size of your beetles. Pour that through the sifter so that the beetles, both live and dead, stay up in that sifter and all the substrate goes through. This is where like bran, wheat mid, something fine comes in handy. If you're using oatmeal or oats, it's going to be rough to sift that stuff out. So once you sift out your substrate, you've got the live beetles and the dead beetles mixed together. Pour that over the egg carton, right? So still use that egg carton idea, but pour that over the egg carton. Kind of pan them out or separate them out across that whole egg carton, and give them about 30 seconds. Let the live ones climb around. The dead ones won't stick to it, right? Take it, flip it over. Dead stuff falls out. Some of the live ones are going to fall out. It's bound to happen, but you'll get a larger percentage of live ones hanging onto that carton. And again, shake that off into the fresh bin at that point. So that'll help get rid of the dead. I do that with bins where I'm trying to, in some cases, I'll ship live beetles. So folks will get those from me freshly hatched, hatching them all the time to help replenish the colony, keep things going in the farm. And then I'll have excess that folks will buy from me. And so I'll use that same method because I'll still have some die off even within a week. And I don't want to ship dead insects. So I'll get a bin ready. I'll feed it overnight, Sunday night, get them water gel crystals, make sure they've got substrate. And then that morning, I will do that method I just described. There's some videos on the YouTube channel here of how I get those beetles out, and with the egg crates. There are larger ones too. I think those are called egg flats. I think they hold 16 eggs, if I'm remembering right, maybe more. But anyway, those come in handy and are super good to deal with some of those dead beetles. Luke, what's the standard amount of beetles per square inch? I want to make sure I'm not overcrowding, but at the same time make sure it's efficient. That is a fantastic question. Do some research on Juan Ramos Morales. So he's been doing research for USDA for 30 plus years on mealworms. And he's done all sorts of really awesome stuff. Some of it is very, very like scientific-y, researchy type papers that are really thick to get through, really tough to get through. But there's a lot of really good info. Generally, you're going to see folks that'll say 7 to 12 per square inch. Seems to be the most popular option right now. But you're exactly right. You want to optimize that, because if you put too many in, it actually decreases the egg laying production, right? Because they're going to be competing for resources, they're competing for space, and it's just not a good environment. But at the same time, you don't want to go too low. You don't want to go so low that you're not getting the optimal production there. A lot of this depends on your environmental conditions as well. So if temperature is not around 78 to 80, lots to talk about temperature, and your humidity is not at least 50%, you're going to run into decreased efficiencies anyway. So purely from a numbers perspective, I'm putting about 1,500 in those blue trays that I have. I want to say they're like 20 by 15-ish, something like that. And then I always have about a 3/4 to an inch thick substrate for the beetles. That way they can get down, they can move around, it gives them some space. If you want to add square inches to your space, to try to maximize maybe limited space that you have, put some of those egg cartons in that you're using, put some of those in with the beetles, to give them more surface area to move around on. So that's a good way. If you don't have space for more trays, if you throw some of that in there to give them some vertical space within the bin, that'll work out perfect too. So awesome. Well, totally impromptu, and we talked through a bunch of stuff here. I'm super excited. Thank you guys for jumping in, Luke and Raymond. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I got some good info for you. Ask me some more questions. I'll get this posted, and more to come. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a happy Friday.